The left is only okay if it's a leftist billionaire who's making the purchase. They've never complained about Ted Turner, who created CNN. They haven't said anything. They haven't said a single thing to him. But the thing with the left, this is really, I mean, it really is an exposure of how anti-free speech they are. BlackRock and Vanguard are trending too. It's just wild. It's wild. They have a 30% stake in Twitter. Do you agree? Well, almost a 30%. It's a little exaggerated. What's their participation going to be in all of this, out of curiosity? Because, we're no fans of them. I'm curious about this. This is just a wild thing to watch. And I know for people who aren't digital creatures, like, Kane and I, you might think, why does this matter? Well, you know what matters? Here's why it matters. Everything that we have complained about in terms of coverage the past several years has been because of the way that media has been managed. Media which has been owned by very rich people who are on the left. I don't begrudge someone their fortune. I begrudge people when they don't believe that ideas should be met with other ideas. It matters because a lot of people question the results of the election. Wrong or right, people were questioning it. We weren't even able to talk about a number of variables that could have affected the outcome. We weren't even allowed to talk about whether or not the president of the United States right now is complicit in a scam to enrich China, make us subservient to them where it concerns green energy while enriching their own family. We don't know what role the Bidens played in that. We're not allowed to ask because these same companies wouldn't run these stories, and social media, which is the way that people always got around the big media companies, began shutting down those accounts. See, that's what people don't realize. I said back in 2009 that the new Minuteman was an average everyday American with their phone and a video recording capability. People were streaming things on social media platforms. They were on Twitter. They were putting stuff on Twitter, bypassing all of the legacy press, bypassing the Washington Post, bypassing the New York Times. And legacy press could not deal with that. They could not compete. Twitter, only for like the past, number of years now, has only pretended to, they give the appearance of free exchange of ideas without actually allowing the free exchange of ideas. I think they allow some free exchange to go through. And then that's it. Everyone else is throttled. It's important because all of this stuff ends up becoming a narrative, and the narrative ends up becoming policy, and the policy ends up becoming law. Twitter can actually change people's minds. I have spoken to I can't tell you the number of lawmakers that I've spoken to in years past who, because they saw something on Twitter, rage mobs get their traction on Twitter. People get canceled, careers get ruined, lives are over through the power of Twitter. It's more than just a public square, it's a cudgel. This is why it's important. It's where it's different from Facebook because Facebook is more relaxed, although they crack down on people as well. But in terms of usage, strictly, it's a lot more relaxed. It's more about discussion. It's more about families and relationships, people who actually know each other. Instagram is very visual. Twitter is the battlefield of ideas, and I don't say that lightly. It's where pundits and journalists go to argue. That's what it is. And that's the importance of it. And I think this is huge because this is it's kind of a digital Alamo. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, not for the right, but I think the left is now, they're realizing, oh my gosh, it's on the line now. The ruse is over. The mask is off. The veil is torn, ironically. Not ironically, coincidentally. And everyone can see. And now you have the left cheering the Saudis because their Alawid whatever guy, he also has a stake in Fox, by the way. But he's a business guy. He's got a stake in everything. He's got a 5% stake in Twitter. He's trying to call the shots and reject. He's got all of that. He's trying to control and influence Twitter's reaction to Musk's offer. I think this is one of the most important moments in digital media. What's happening right now is a watershed moment in digital media, and it will be historic.